We really have to be here for each other, whether you have an oversupply or an undersupply, whether you are a breastfeeding mom or a formula mom, whether you're a C-section mom or a VBAC mom, because we're in this together and it's not easy, you know? It's not easy being a mom of any kind of working mom, a stay-at-home mom. It don't matter what kind of mom you are, girl. I just want you to know you're doing amazing. You're rocking out. You're killing it.
You gotta be afraid. I wish I could make you stay, 'cause baby, I love you.
Hey guys, thanks so much for coming back to Be Restyle. I am officially 5 days postpartum. This video is all about breast engorgement, and in today's video I want to share with you guys this journey because it's something that I have dealt with as a new mom and now a second time mom, and it's an issue that is rarely discussed and talked about. Breast engorgement is when your breasts are painfully overfilled with milk. This can happen for some people like me within 3 to 4 days after giving birth, as well as multiple times in your breastfeeding journey. And it is a very painful thing. It is definitely something that I don't think is discussed as much, because a lot of times people will kind of put it under the umbrella as a good problem to have. And while it is wonderful that we are able to produce milk for our babies, and it is really hard whenever you can't, it definitely is something that I think that we need to be educated on, so that if it does happen to you, you know how to combat it and you have the tools that you need to kind of overcome it. So your boobs are overly filled with milk. For me, this happened exactly 4 days after giving birth to Ari and 3 to 4 days after giving birth to Joanna. I was cluster feeding around the clock to give her pretty much what she needs, and there was a time when I think it was like 18 times or 19 times from midnight till the next morning that I was feeding Ari just this past few days ago. And because of all that stimulation on my breast, my milk came in with a vengeance. And on the 4th day when my milk came in, my breasts were probably about 6 to 7 times their normal size, hard as a rock. My twin sister and I call it the turtle shells, because that's exactly what it looks like. They're huge, heavy, hard breasts that feel like, if I wanted to give you guys an explanation of kind of what it feels like, it's almost like someone pumps your breast full of air 6 to 7 times bigger than what they normally are, and then dumps in maybe 5 to 7 pounds of rocks. That's kind of what your breasts feel like whenever if you're engorged, to the same extent that I was just a few days ago. And so I sat in looking on the internet trying to figure out what I could do. It's been a while since my breasts had been this engorged. What I can do to alleviate that engorgement, and I'm happy to say that a lot of the things that I've done has worked, so I definitely want to share it with you guys. So when can engorgement happen? Engorgement can happen a few days after birth, like I was saying. Engorgement can also happen anytime during your breastfeeding journey if you skip feedings, if you're not feeding enough, if your baby is not latched properly and not draining the breast properly, and things like that. Basically your breast just gets backed up with milk. Ways to avoid that is to make sure that you are feeding on demand. So whenever your baby is crying, and I am not an international lactation board certified lactation consultant, but I'm just sharing with you guys what I have learned. And if you are an international board certified lactation consultant, you please feel free to leave your comments in the description box. This is just what has worked for me, and I want to share it with you guys. So anyway, best way to avoid it is to make sure that you are feeding regularly. You're not giving your baby anything other than your breast milk if possible. Obviously, if you have an oversupply of breast milk, just give your baby the breast milk. Try not to supplement with other things, because your breast will get backed up with milk. Just in case you were wondering, what I like to do, because I have such humongous breast postpartum, is I have to do the sandwich method. So I have to really go in with one hand. I'm holding the baby with this hand in a football hold, and so her head, let me tilt the camera down a little bit. Her head is like this in my hand, and I am squeezing the breast down with the other hand as small as it can go and kind of shoving it up into her mouth. So as long as the latch is good and they're draining the breast completely, if they're not draining the breast completely, which mine almost never do, then I will sometimes hand express into a haka or a bottle or something. I try not to use the pump except for just one time in the morning because my breasts are so filled with milk. At 6 o'clock in the morning here recently, this past 2 days, I have been pumping for 5 minutes and no more. So as you can see, I'm at 5 minutes. I'm gonna pause my camera real quick. I'm gonna pause my machine. I showed you guys, I stopped at 5 minutes, and I'm just gonna combine this so you can see the total amount of milk. In 5 minutes, we are at 6 ounces of milk. 6 ounces of milk in less than 5 minutes, you guys. This is what my breasts look like still after 5 whole minutes of nursing. I mean, after pumping, and I just nursed her for about 10 minutes, which was all the milk that she could drink. But as you can see, they're rock hard and huge. I understand that that's a blessing, right? I mean, it's a blessing to be able to come up with a lot of milk. It really is. But like I said, I feel like a big part of it that people don't talk about is the pain. It is the engorgement, the leaking breast. Like when I try to get into the shower, when I get out of the shower, just something as simple as earlier when I was nursing her at the pediatrician's office, when she got done, my boobs started pouring on the floor. It was so embarrassing, you know. Come with this set of challenges, yes, girl. And I'm here to share with you guys what those challenges are. It's not glamorous. It is not cute. It's wonderful that, you know, your body is producing milk, but when it does produce such an oversupply for what your baby needs, I mean, she's drinking what, maybe 2 ounces of milk, and here I am, you know, pumping out, and and I still have so much milk left. Like I have like 20 ounces or maybe 30 ounces of milk in my breasts right now. They feel rock hard. They feel heavy. It is incredibly painful. I do remember with Joanna that it does slow down, like it does kind of tone down. But if I were to pump even just 3 times a day, it would be so much milk that I would not even have room in my 7-foot freezer to store it all. Like, and the main issue is the pain and the discomfort, as well as the inconveniences that it does cause to overproduce milk. It sucks to underproduce milk, but I wanted to make this video because I want other moms that overproduce milk to also see that we see you too, girl. Like it hurts to overproduce as well. So that's why I'm making this video. But anyway, cheers. So main thing is make sure that the milk is removed from your breast as much as possible, whether it be hand expression, pumping, or whatever the case may be. But if you are dealing with engorgement and your breasts are so huge that you just don't know what to do and you're in so much pain, these are some tips, here we go, that are going to help you relieve the engorgement, okay? And I discovered this through trial and error on my own. The first one is do not use anything hot on your breast. Sometimes you'll get conflicting information on the internet that says use a warm compress to help the milk flow. Well, if your boobs are already hugely inflamed and swollen like mine were, something hot is going to expand the breast even more, and that was the case for me. Make them even more fiery and more angry. So in the shower, put on the water as cold as you can. If you have a sprayer, it's even better. And just allow the cold water to run on your breast, both sides. Just let it run on your breast and then start gently massaging your breast. I was surprised when I did this because my sister said use a cold ice pack. Well, I did that and I couldn't really stand it that long, but for some reason after taking a hot shower and then switching to the cold, I was able to just let it run. Let it run on my breast and massage my breast and all the different areas that were like really lumpy. And I found that after a few short minutes, the lumpiness started to alleviate and my breast started to kind of feel a little bit more normal. That really helped. So I was so eager to share that tip with you guys. So the massaging of your breast with the cold water, and then after I got out of the shower, I was like, what would happen if I just kind of just like tried to express here in the shower and that also helped. So I just kind of pressed my breast and I'm massaging downward motion, and the milk was just flowing, okay girl, and I didn't even care. It was like, at the end of the day, it was like I was in so much pain. I had already pumped, I had already saved up, you know, several ounces that morning. I was like, whatever, I just want this milk out of my breast. So I just started pressing my breast down and massaging it out, and then right after I got out of the shower, it was time to nurse Ari. And so I put her on my breast, we nursed for about 20 minutes, 10 minutes on this side, 10 minutes on the other side, and I felt so much better. Another thing too is ibuprofen. I found that ibuprofen, I'm off of all my pain narcotics. That's another video for another time, thank you God. But it's day 5 postpartum, and I'm pretty much just doing the ibuprofen, and the ibuprofen has definitely helped reduce the swelling. As you guys know, ibuprofen is an anti-inflammatory, so that really helped. And then the last thing that I wrote down on my list was just pumping. So I use an electrical pump only once in the morning for, again, like I said, no more than 5 minutes at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I'll store that and put it away. But making sure that just the 5 minutes, because if you go, I remember when I had Joanna, I remember the lactation consultant telling me don't go over 5 minutes, because what's gonna happen is you tell your breast, oh, I need more milk, I need more milk, I need more milk. And what's gonna happen is your engorgement is gonna get worse over time. And so I didn't listen to that. I did not listen to that with her. And I ended up like, oh, I just wanna get all this milk out. And so I pumped like 10 or maybe even 15 minutes. And let me just tell you, the milk was out of control and not in a good way. And lastly, okay, all of those tips aside, I hope those helped you guys. But something that I really want to talk about is that, you know, with engorgement, with having an oversupply of milk, it's rarely talked about, because I feel like a lot of people feel like, well, it's a good problem to have. They call you the milk goddess and the milk queen or whatever, and that is really wonderful. But for those of you women who are experiencing this, I just want you to know that I see you, I feel you, and I understand where you're coming from, because it truly is not, even though it's a wonderful blessing that you're able to have a lot of milk, it's also not easy, you know, and it's yet again, one more thing in postpartum that is difficult for women to overcome, but it's something that they have to kind of be quiet about. And so that's kind of why I made this video, because I really want you to feel seen and feel heard and feel like, girl, I feel you. If you're dealing with this engorgement issue, I really do feel you. And I hope that these tips and tricks really help you. And I hope that you get the relief that you are looking for, because it truly can be excruciatingly painful, and something that's hard to kind of overcome in your postpartum life. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna stop rambling on and on and on. My baby's gonna be waking up any minute to nurse, so I better get off of here. But I just kind of wanted to check in with you guys. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it with any of your postpartum friends that you feel like might be having an oversupply issue. We really have to be here for each other, whether you have an oversupply or an undersupply, whether you are a breastfeeding mom or a formula mom, whether you're a C-section mom or a VBAC mom, whatever camp you live in. You know, as moms, we have to put away the shame and put away the, you know, preconceived notions and put away the hate. And we need to be there for each other, you know, because we're in this together, and it's not easy, you know, it's not easy being a mom of any kind of working mom, a stay-at-home mom. It don't matter what kind of mom you are, girl. I just want you to know you're doing amazing. You're rocking out, you're killing it, and I just want you to know that I'm here for you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I look forward to talking to you guys in my comments. Okay, bye.
I wish I could make you stay, 'cause baby, I love you.